Hello, so this is my review of Harper's Island. Now, before I begin, I want to talk about what I'm gonna do. For this particular show, I'm actually gonna do two parts because, the ending I feel like deserves two videos because there's a lot I have to say about the ending, and there's a lot I want to talk about this show just in general because there's a lot I want to talk about on the specific ending. But the show in general, I'm going to I'm going to say that it's pretty good. It was really enjoyable, and like I really enjoyed watching it because it was just pretty awesome. The show started off strongly and continued to go strongly until the end. Now, I'll talk about the end thing, how I felt about it, but like um, like I said, it really started off strongly because, first of all, it really grabbed my attention during the first 5 minutes because, there was like a murder in the first 5 minutes. And then it was like, wow, they just got more and more intense because it was like, I felt like quite a few of the deaths were really creative. Like, the first one, for example, and then Uncle Marty, which, I don't know. I don't know how to describe that one, but there was also the hanging, which was kind of creepy. The way, I'm trying to think of who else was killed. I know there were 5 by these. Oh yeah, some of them just seemed, kind of weak, but others are creative, like, especially the wedding one. Even though, it was pretty gruesome and awful, it was a pretty horrible death, though, I will say that. But, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, but what I'm trying to say is that, I don't know. It's a show about, I don't know. It's a show about a mystery. It's trying to figure out why people are getting murdered and stuff like that. Anyways, I'm gonna say, though, that it was, some of the things were a bit predictable, too. Like, the one where, the ex-boyfriend, when he was going on the boat, I just knew that there was a trap set up for him, and there was a trap set up for him, and yeah, um, I mean, yeah, like, I mean, I don't know. It's like I didn't understand a few things, like, for example, why the deputy let his dog loose on Henry's wife and father, and her father. Like, why he sent the dog on her if he's one of the good guys. I felt that really confused me. But other than that, I don't really understand why. I did feel, though, that, they had some really clear shots at the killer, and I was like, why aren't you taking shots at the guy? I just didn't understand that. Why they didn't take shots at the guy. They had clear shots that I probably could have taken, but they chose to, miss him. The whole way they caught him was pretty good, I guess. They set up a trap, I think, to have him be bait, and so as soon as he showed up, they shot him and got him. Even though, it didn't end there, but at least they got him. But still, I just couldn't figure out some stuff. Like, also, where were the rest of the inhabitants? And I'm pretty sure I watched in some of the previews I saw, there were some scenes that just like didn't show up. Like, I kind of expected this to be like more like a horror movie. In fact, when I first saw the previews for this show, I actually thought it was like some sort of reality show or something like that. But yeah, like I said, I mean, there were some other things that they were giving hints that were gonna happen, and then they pointed out that it's possible, but they don't go the route. Like, for example, when they find out that John Wakefield had a kid, they're like, Abby might be John Wakefield's kid, and I was like, yeah, we kind of figured that out like 3 episodes ago. But I'm actually glad that they didn't go that route. And I'll talk about how I felt about the way it went in the ending. But all I can say right now is that I'm glad that they just didn't go the predictable route that it looked like they were going to go. Yeah, and I mean, they also made it seem like the sheriff was the bad guy at one point, which again was kind of creative, I guess. Like, it was an interesting twist to see what happened. I mean, they never did quite well show us. No, like, it was hard to figure out who to trust. And I mean, the previews had pointed out trust no one, and at one point I actually thought it was well, I mean, personally, yeah, I'm gonna save some of these comments that I have right now that I want to say for the ending, but I'm part 2. But for now, all I can say is that this show was really strong throughout. But like I said, I'm just wondering where all the people were. Like, I mean, there were like there were like just those like groups of people left at one point, and I don't remember where the rest of the island went. But yeah, I mean, I'm just confused about that. But still, there's anything else that I want to talk about. Like I said, most of the characters reacted in ways you would imagine, for the most part. Yeah, I mean, there wasn't any. I really didn't have a hard time believing any of the characters. I mean, they were all interesting characters, and yeah, it was a real shock to see most of them die. And yeah, pretty much basically I'm going to hopefully upload part 2 tonight, because I'm gonna hopefully do part 2 right after this video, and hopefully part 2 will be uploaded around the same time as part 1. And yeah, anyways, I hope you stay tuned for part 2, and hopefully you will enjoy it just as much as you've enjoyed this review and the rest of my videos. And yeah, anyway, that's it for now, so see you in part 2. Bye. Yeah, anyway, okay.